An entitled Karen lets her kids run loose in my house while we're trying to negotiate a deal of her cleaning my house. And as a result, her kids destroy my house and completely wreck everything that we've neatly organized. And I never expected this, and I am completely blown away. Here's what happened. So honestly, I just have to get this out there. This is the most absurd entitled parent situation I've personally ever encountered. So buckle in. My husband and I looked to hire a local husband and wife small business to clean and do maintenance projects on our house before our baby comes in a few weeks. They came by tonight to take a look at the projects, and surprise, they brought their 3 elementary age children. This is no biggie, I thought at first. It's not ideal, but I like children, and I like the idea of our home being a welcoming place for them. For now, we'll just let it go. We opened the door and the children scattered. All 3 took off screaming in a different direction with their shoes on their feet. 1 ended up in my bedroom and 2 on different ends of the living room, where all 3 started pulling my daughter's carefully organized, orderly toys off the shelves at an extremely rapid pace. The mom said to us, "Well, they sure made themselves at home. They sure love your house." I tried to orient the parents quickly so they would leave as soon as possible, and the oldest child noticed our loft, which is our playroom and library, and is also carefully organized and decorated with pure love, with various handcrafted elements. And when they saw that, they all raced upstairs. We have 4 kids of our own, but managed to mostly keep things orderly. Each toy has a place. We have some small breakable pieces from mine and my husband's childhood, not to mention that all the books are shelved alphabetically in categories. All 3 children started shrieking at the sight of the room. I was trying to wrap up discussion with the mom, and it's right about then that I heard the stomping starting. It sounded like they were jumping off furniture. I paused for the mom to say something, but she didn't even bat an eyelash. Then came a crash that could only have been furniture falling over. The mom, again, didn't so much as comment. My husband, though, ran upstairs incredibly alarmed. The youngest one, who was maybe 4 years old, then raced downstairs, needing to go to the potty urgently. 3 of our 4 washrooms needed service, which is why we were hiring these people in the first place. So the only bathroom available was our master bathroom. And this is also where we have chicks in an incubator. As I showed the child where to go, she got distracted by the chicks and screamed to the older kids upstairs to come down and look at the chickens. So the older 2 came barreling down the stairs, yelling at the top of their lungs, running through my bedroom and bathroom. And the small one didn't quite make it to the toilet in the excitement. This all happened in the 15 minutes I thought we would quickly introduce the adult contractors to the projects and negotiating pay. This was bizarre and horrible, I thought, but we'll just have them do the job tomorrow and not work with them ever again. Eventually, as it was time to leave, 2 of the kids started to scream and have a temper tantrum, demanding that they wanted to stay longer. And this is all without putting a single toy away that they disassembled and threw around the place, mind you. The entitled mom looks at her kids and says, "It's okay, honey. We'll be back tomorrow so you can play some more." And when she said that, I was blown away. She was expecting to bring the children and leave them unsupervised in my home, or maybe she expected me to provide childcare while she performed tasks that were clearly unsafe for children in closed-off rooms for 7 hours. So in my mind, of course we were canceling. I'm almost too shocked to even be upset. I just checked upstairs, and I found a shelf of books partially toppled over. Every toy in the living room is in pieces on the floor. There is waste not in the toilet, if you know what I mean, and it happened so fast. And I'm honestly so blown away by some people's entitlement. That situation seriously sounds so unbelievably infuriating. I cannot imagine how angry I would be if I had spent all this time trying to get my house together, and you're trying to hire these people to help out, and their kids come in and destroy everything. Like, that would have literally driven me nuts. I can only imagine how frustrating that is. And it's like, how can the mom just not do anything about it? She's seriously gonna let her kids run around and destroy this house? Like, what is she thinking? She lost a sale right then and there doing just that. I'm surprised that the original poster didn't freak out on this person too. Like, if that was me, I would have lost my mind. I probably would have started screaming at those kids and told them to get lost. So for the sake of your house and your sanity, definitely never hire those people again. They're obnoxious and they're just gonna bring their stupid kids over. If you like Am I the Jerk, you're probably going to love Am I the Genius. Check it out, link down below in the description. I feel incredibly insecure about my boyfriend's coworker, who is very pretty, and I'm worried that he finds her attractive, and I seriously don't know what to do. So about a year ago, my boyfriend started a new fast-paced, high-stress job. He had to train quickly because the person he was replacing was leaving in a week or two. The coworker he was replacing had to train him for hours each day, so they also had lunch together each day. Apparently, because of the amount of work work that they had to get through, they would work together remotely until pretty late after coming home. My boyfriend and I are very close. We've been together for 2 years, and we spend every weekend together and talk on the phone every day. I felt weird when he couldn't talk on the phone in the evening when he said he was working late with his coworker. But then again, I've never had a job like his where you have to work so late and get it done. Now, I was suspicious of him because I was cheated on in my last serious relationship, and it started as texting. I know it was an invasion of privacy, but I looked at their text messages. This is when I got really upset. My boyfriend is a friendly but mostly introverted guy. He keeps in touch with a few friends from college, but otherwise isn't really a social butterfly. A lot of times he doesn't even respond to his friends' text messages or mine until late in the evening. My boyfriend and his female coworker were texting for multiple nights in a row until late in the evening, well past 10 o'clock at night. Most of it was just friendly conversation, asking about her family and her goals, talking about their lives and other stuff. He asked her what she was reading, and she responded that she was rereading a very popular children's book series for probably the 4th time, to which he responded by basically calling her a scholar. This in and of itself wasn't that weird, but definitely seemed out of character for my boyfriend, as he is a serious reader and not usually as social or complimentary. They talked so late that they said goodnight to each other as well. I told him that these conversations seemed past the line of professionalism and were verging into flirty territory. I also told him I was suspicious because he spent all day at work with her, then spent the better part of the evening texting with her, which is nothing like how he interacts with his previous coworkers. And he didn't think to mention anything to me except that he was working and couldn't talk at the moment. I asked if she was beautiful and if he was attracted to her, and he responded by saying, "Well, she is attractive, but I'm not attracted to her." That really didn't make me feel better. He explained that he just wanted to form a good work relationship with her since he will need her help and ask her for advice once she leaves the office. He said that she had a boyfriend, which strikes me as odd because I wouldn't be texting late into the evening with another man because I wouldn't want my boyfriend to get the wrong idea. When I asked if he had told her that he has a girlfriend, he said no, but he said that she would have had to see my photo as his wallpaper. We had an extended fight until he admitted he crossed a line and promised it wouldn't happen again and that I didn't have any reason to worry. Meanwhile, I feel super insecure and even looked her up online. I know this was a very bad idea, but she is a very beautiful woman and she is successful. Flash forward a year and she is coming back to the office soon. We aren't sure if she'll be working with him or in another department. When he was short to me after a long day at work, I immediately started wondering if she had come back to the office. I know he texted her recently about coming back, but the conversation didn't go any further according to him. Now I'm writing down the story because I don't know how to stop obsessing about him possibly texting her or being attracted to her at work. I keep comparing myself to her, and I'm feeling inadequate. I know on some level my boyfriend wouldn't have been texting her like that if he didn't feel some sort of attraction, but I also don't think he would ever cheat on me. He's just not that kind of guy. I have already clearly expressed my boundaries and told him I will not be fighting about this again, meaning that if it happens again, I'm done. He has reassured me countless times that I don't need to worry about this woman, and he only wants to be with me because he loves me. I know being suspicious of him constantly will push him away and is largely due to my own insecurities in the past. How can I gain some self-confidence and build more trust in him? What should I do? In my opinion, and maybe this is a polarizing opinion, I really feel like the original poster is incredibly insecure. Like, in my opinion, I don't feel like any of the behavior that this guy exhibited shows any kind of indications of cheating or a romantic affair, like at all in the slightest. They were literally just friendly text messages between the two of them, and I seriously don't think your boyfriend was doing anything sketchy. I think the real problem here is the fact that you are unwilling to trust your partner and trust that he is literally just trying to do his job so he has a good contact moving forward with his position. That's all that looked like in my opinion. He wasn't flirting, he wasn't doing anything that would indicate anything like that in my opinion. And it seems like the original poster's argument is basically saying, well, he didn't tell me he was texting his female coworker. Well, I'm sure that your boyfriend is probably texting a lot of different people at work trying to get this new job down for him. At the time, he was probably in scramble mode where he's trying to catch up to this one coworker who's about to leave. Like, he is being trained quickly and he's replacing someone who probably was there for a while. And based on what you described, there was no flirting going on. That's my opinion, at least. If you have a different opinion or a different perspective, then leave a comment down below. We would love to hear what you have to say. So I think first and foremost, the original poster needs to work on themselves. You clearly just innately don't trust your boyfriend with anything, and you've even threatened to break up with him if he ever even talks to this woman again, despite the fact that there has never been anything between them except some semblance of professionalism and just friendly conversation. So hopefully things can work out between you and your boyfriend, because in my opinion, it really doesn't seem like he did anything wrong. My boyfriend got upset that I had dinner at home with his cousin, and this has caused a lot of friction and a lot of arguments, and I seriously don't know what to do. So my boyfriend of 3 years is very close to his cousin. He lives 5 minutes from us. My boyfriend always invites him over for dinner, and their family spends Christmas and holidays together. They even live together, so they're more like brothers than anything. So eventually, I became friends with him as well. Not really close friends, but we do get along when we meet up. Now, I'm not from their country, so a few months ago, I moved in with my boyfriend, and I don't have any friends here, and I only know his cousin and my boyfriend. One night, my boyfriend was away for work in another city, and his cousin asked me if I wanted to have dinner together with him. It is really common here. People just invite themselves over for dinner, so I told him yes, but I explained that I don't have any food at home. I barely cook, so he brought ingredients to make ratatouille. We cooked together. I told my boyfriend he came over, sent him pictures with the dish, and told him not to eat on his way home. He was working in another city, stating that we will save him some ratatouille for him, but eventually he decided to spend the night there. He didn't say anything about this dinner on the spot, but during an argument, he told me it's not normal that I'm having dinner with his cousin, and that he would never have dinner with his cousin's girlfriend if he had one, and he couldn't understand why he came over to cook dinner. And I said to him, look, I don't have any friends here. I'm alone most of the time. I didn't have anything to eat either, so I said yes. Then, after a few days, he told me he dreamt I was spending some quality time with his cousin. Mind you, my boyfriend was cheated on before and always has dreams that I'm cheating on him, and I have to reassure him that I won't. Then, during other arguments, he would bring this topic up and say he's not jealous of him, he's just jealous that his cousin gets to spend time with me and not him. Sometimes my boyfriend invites him over for dinner when I would rather spend some time alone with him only, and he falls asleep most of the time, and I'll end up having to talk to his cousin because he is a guest, and it would be rude to just leave him hanging. Then another time he took me home after the Christmas dinner because my boyfriend asked him to, since he was going to work, so on that occasion it was okay that I spent time with him. But when he's not around, suddenly it's not okay? When I spend time with his cousin without him, which only happened 2 times mind you, I either praise my boyfriend or we talk about books or other mundane topics. I don't see anything wrong. He is literally just a friend, if I can even call him that. I don't know what to say or do. I don't like asking for permission to spend time with people, and I am very faithful and honest, and would never disrespect my boyfriend ever. I don't even know if I'm a bad girlfriend for getting upset instead of reassuring him that I will never cheat. It's just that I'm so laid back, and I would never accuse him of anything or question him, and I just don't like being scolded at for things that I don't do. This is my first relationship, so I'm not really good at comforting my boyfriend in this really weird situation. What should I do? Your boyfriend is being absolutely irrational. I mean, he's getting upset over literally nothing. This is his cousin we're talking about. There hasn't been any instance where he's tried to make a move on you, and it doesn't sound like he's done anything sketchy in general. If anything, he's just been a normal friend. I mean, if your boyfriend and this cousin really are close to being brothers, then it's honestly really surprising that he would act this way. He is just being super insecure, and it's almost over nothing. Like, you haven't done anything to this cousin, and it doesn't sound like you would ever do anything like that. So maybe just reassuring him and saying, hey, I moved in with you and you only. I love spending time with you, and you're the only person that I want in my life. Or something like that, because your boyfriend is being really weird right now. You're not cheating, you haven't done anything wrong, and honestly, the problem is definitely with him. It is not something that you did in the slightest. My girlfriend keeps switching between being loving and happy in our relationship to then feeling overwhelmed by everything. And at this point, I seriously don't know what to do. So my girlfriend and I started dating like a month ago, so it hasn't been a lot of time. At the very start of it, she told me that she just came out of a relationship, and I told her that we can take things slow, but not even a week or a week and a half in, and she says that she wants to be exclusive. And ever since then, we have been just that. But she keeps doing this hot and cold dance, and it's really starting to confuse me. She stays over at my place nearly every night. She wants to see me every day at the university, and when she is with me at my place, she won't stop hugging and kissing me. But then there have been a couple of moments when she's been overwhelmed and said things that don't make sense. The first time that happened was around 3 weeks ago, and she told me that she doesn't really know what she feels for me, and that sometimes she feels nothing in general. I listened and I said that we can figure it out, and then then that very night, she came back to my place and stayed the night. The second overwhelming moment happened last night. We were in the car after a dinner date, and she said things like, "I just don't know how to be in a relationship." Like she knows the rules of a relationship and everything like that, but she doesn't know how certain communication should happen. She also says that she just doesn't know what she's doing. This time when she said that, it really hurt me because it's been more than a month and we see each other every day, and I am developing strong feelings for her. The thing is, there are times when she tells me how much she likes me and wants me, and then there are other times where she won't even want to say it back. Another aspect is that she doesn't like us hanging out in her department, and the reason she's explained it is that she doesn't like the idea of her ex seeing us there since it's his professional workspace as well, and she doesn't want to make him dread coming into his own workplace, and I understand that to an extent. At first I didn't, and I had to have a conversation with her, but I soon find out that all the important people in her life and department do know that we're dating. So what should I do? Am I looking too much into this hot and cold thing, or is this indicative of a bigger problem? My only thinking is to ask myself, why would she come over every single day if this wasn't something that she was interested in? What should I do? It kind of sounds like your girlfriend has not moved on from a previous relationship. That's like the first thing that came to mind. Like she might be feeling overwhelmed because, well, she just got out of a relationship. And I totally get that. It can be hard going from one relationship that you've been in for a really long time to then suddenly go into this new relationship and be thinking to yourself, wait, what am I supposed to do? How do I do this? You were used to this one sense of love and affection, only to then suddenly being forced to get to know your partner. And that can be very jarring. And it sounds like she is currently going through it. And that might be why she's like on and off almost all the time. So hopefully you can have some kind of conversation with her and maybe see if you can even take it slower with the relationship. And it probably also doesn't help that her ex-boyfriend literally works in the same place that she does. Like that's gotta be hard, and I can only imagine that only adds to the stress. So hopefully with some kind of conversation you can figure this out, because I do think you're right. She does come over every single day, so it really does seem like she wants to be with you all the time, and hopefully that can be enough to try and figure this out. My husband told me that he has feelings for one of our mutual friends, and I really feel heartbroken and betrayed over this, and I seriously don't know what to do. So my husband and I met our friend about a year ago, and I've got to be honest, my husband and my friend were instant friends, and in contrast, it took me and this friend a little while to warm up to each other. A few months ago, I started feeling like things were getting a little too close between them. They were texting more and more often, and when we would hang out, my husband would ignore me when I tried to talk to him, but would rather talk to her instead. And even several times, I was in the middle of saying something to him, and he would just walk away to talk to her instead. This turned into a big fight the last time it happened, because I was talking to him about plans for our kid's birthday party, and he literally ran away to talk to her because he spotted her across the room. I asked my husband repeatedly if he had feelings for her, and he said no. I repeatedly told him the way he treated me when she was around and the way he acts when she's around was making me feel uncomfortable. This built to another fight where my husband insisted that he didn't have feelings for her, and he felt like I was just being jealous and that he wasn't allowed to have friends. I felt guilty for making him feel like he wasn't allowed to have friends, and I have never wanted to try and control his friends group. I just wanted us to get back to normal. So to try and keep the peace, I dropped it. For 2 months, I made myself get over my feelings. I felt guilty for feeling upset when they would just joke around with each other. I would even leave the room when they would sing songs together, and this was all in karaoke to the song Accidentally in Love. They would sing this together with pretend microphones and leaning into each other, and I even ignored the fact that when she touched his arm, he didn't push it away. Now, I was just starting to feel like I was past it, like maybe it was just in my head and I was just being jealous. I felt terrible for having doubted my husband when he told me he didn't have any feelings for this friend. Then, at the start of this month, my husband was acting upset. I asked him what was going on, and he admitted that he does have feelings for this friend. He said that he has been having reoccurring dreams about her. They started out a few months ago, every now and again, but he is now dreaming about her almost every night. Now, my husband told me he felt guilty for having these dreams, and he felt guilty for having feelings for her. He kept apologizing, and when I asked him what exactly he felt for her, he said he didn't know. He knows he's attracted to her and that he wants to spend more time with her and to get to know her better. He compared it to a third-grade crush. He says that he has no interest or intentions to pursue her romantically, but he doesn't want to stop talking to her or being around her. Now, it's been 2 weeks since my husband told me all of this. We started setting aside time at the end of every day to spend time together to just talk about everything. He has answered any questions I asked him. He has started texting her less, and I thought we were doing okay, even if we were still figuring out what to do about it to try and make things work. Yesterday, he told me that the feelings he has are stronger than he thought they were. He hasn't texted her in a few days, but that's only because of some serious restraint on his part. He realized that he wanted to text her more and more, so he stopped texting, but this has only made him want to talk to her more. He says he can't control the way he feels for her, but he feels so guilty that he's hurting me. He says he doesn't love her because he doesn't believe you can love someone without getting to know them, but he wants to get to know her, even though he knows that it will only lead to him feeling more for her. He keeps telling me that no matter what he feels for her, it doesn't change that he loves me. He even said that he even feels like he loves me more now because he has been able to talk to me and be honest with me about how he feels. He told me that he has no conscious thoughts of pursuing her, but nearly every night he goes to sleep and she is there. And when he wakes up in the morning, he feels terrible for it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think or how to feel. I feel betrayed and angry that he got close enough to her to feel anything for her at all. I'm angry that I saw this coming and I made myself get over it. I'm hurt that he lied to me repeatedly about not having feelings for her when he did. I'm hurt that I repeatedly told him that he was making me feel incredibly uncomfortable, and he basically told me to just get over it. But I was right. I feel guilty for being upset about how he feels for her because he can't control his emotions. I don't want to be the reason that he has to lose a friend, but I truly don't want to be around her. I don't want to spend more time with her. I don't want him to talk to her, but he has every right to be friends with whoever he wants to be friends with. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I think the original poster has it partially right. Yes, you feel betrayed and angry because you know what? Your husband is setting you up to say, hey, I cheated on you. Like literally that's where this is leading. But I think you're wrong on one thing. He absolutely can control his emotions, and no, he does not have to be friends with this woman. If he really cared for you, he would have cut this off from the beginning. He would have said, hey, no, wait a second, I'm married. I'm not interested in you. Him saying over and over again that he's having dreams about this woman, and he's saying stuff like, I just can't get her out of my head, I'm having dreams about her. This guy is literally trying to ease you into the idea of him not only talking to her more, but also eventually cheating on you. Like, this is sketchy behavior across the board. This is not normal, and I would not take this sitting down. So hopefully something can be done about this, because honestly, it really does look like your husband's about to cheat on you, and you absolutely do not deserve that. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, use the playlist at the top of the description. And if you like Am I the Jerk, you're probably going to love Am I the Genius. Check it out in the description below and subscribe.